right. So while we are getting set up, I am
As
going
we
to
always are.
attempt to get
As we
Instagram
always are.
situated.
Yo, we are live and we are still not all the way ready, which is the
It's me.
greatest thing on earth. That's our thing, I think. I take y'all through the sound checks and the tech checks because we can't never start on time.
Can't never.
We was debating quiet storms in different markets. Um, Tasha grew up in Middle Earth, and it wasn't called Quiet Storm out there. What you said it
It
was
was called
called?
Beloved, Beloveds Only,
Who was the
Beloveds
host?
Only. I don't know. I was
They would
a
just find
kid.
a
I
myriad of
left when
deep.
I was 12. I don't know.
They would just find a myriad of deep voiced men to take over the radio during that time.
Beloveds Only.
For
That's all
lovers
I know.
only. I
I know
hear
somebody from Cleveland. What's the pastor? Pastor Leroy. He should pop up
it.
and be able to say.
You know how that man come
Booney,
on here and admit he was listening to secular music.
we were kids. Booney, he is my age. That's why I be trying to remember to call him Pastor Leroy and not call him by his nickname.
That's the Pastor Leroy. I ain't seen that name in a minute.
I know. I seen his mom on. She posted yesterday. All right, let me get
Mm.
the stream key. Look, I figured it out.
It's Wednesday. It's hump day. We out here. What we talking about today? Oh, I
What
see.
about your
Friends.
friend?
How many of us have them? Friends. Oh, ones we can depend on. Yo, I was just having that conversation with some people today. Different conversations. I be low key using my network to build content sometimes, right? And I sent a question out, and it says,
We
"What?"
are live on Instagram.
You find out on Instagram, cool. But look, the question said, "What is one question you wish people was brave enough to ask you?" Right?
Where was this? When did?
I just sent it out,
Okay, okay.
and I got some really interesting responses, but a lot of it kind of like leaned into people's like um what level of what level of like care or what concern or genuineness from their like friendship circles.
Hmm.
Like somebody saying, I want people to ask me how I really am and mean it and be, really invested in hearing what I may have to say and provide me a safe and a judge free zone to say it. And I'm taking all of this in because it makes sense, right? But I'm like, damn, this is I, I agree that sometimes when people ask how are you, I think they do it out of politeness, not necessarily like, hey, nigga, how are you? Right? Um so it's odd that we talk. I mean, man, these topics be serendipity because it's crazy that you want to do the friendship talk joint, and that's crazy because friendships do feel different now.
They do. I mean, they
They
honestly
do.
do because I wanted. Remember, I wanted last. What was it? Whatever the last time we did the live, I had you
It's
come
been
up
a
with it.
while.
Yeah, it has not been that long. Don't do that. Don't
That
do
was
not.
it's been at least a couple weeks since the We Are Cooked episodes because we are cooked, and boy, did some more stuff show that we are cooked all this week, last couple weeks, yo.
Can you hear me?
Of course, I can hear you. Who
Okay,
you
because
talking to?
it kind of went through the speaker and out. So I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, that was the last one. And I felt like the friendship one, I felt like this was the perfect time because honestly, I wasn't even really going, like, I was struggling to get on this today too, as well. But I just really feel like you said, friendships tend to change once you get older. The same friends that you may have in elementary school may not be the same friends that you have as an adult. Some of us still have those friendships, but they aren't the same, right? Like I still have friends that I known since kindergarten, but we don't talk as much. I've lost some friends. I've actually lost a very close friend to me this past October. And I think that's when it kind of hit me as far as like how we how we put people in our lives, and real genuine friendships, and people that are there for you, and people who aren't there, and where to put them in their spaces of your friendships, honestly. So
You know
I
what's so crazy? I was thinking about it, right? I have, I have some people that are still associated with from like the elementary school to middle school level.
hmm
There are some people that I'm still associated with as far as the high school level. And I think social media makes these reconnections easier these days, right? Gift and the curse.
yes,
But through all of that, most of my true friendships have come from my young adult years simply because it's one thing to grow up with some friends of yours, but it's one thing to grow and evolve into the man you are with the friends you with, right? Those people that was like in the trenches with you. And
hmm
it's funny because me and my college crew, we're celebrating 30 years this year. We're still all together, and it's a big number of us. At least anywhere between 12 to 15. Like
okay,
my ODU crew, okay? 30 years. Right? We try to figure out where we're gonna go and celebrate and stuff. But 30 years. And these, but this is the things that we went through. We went through survival mode, we went through struggle, we went through disagreements, we went through reconciliation, we went through accountability. We went through people got married, people got divorced, people had kids. We even had death. We had to do grief, right? One of our friends lost his wife, right? And so those bonds withstand,
got it.
right? But now in this microwave world we live in, you have a couple positive experiences with a person, and all of a sudden they're a friend, right? So our discernment has gone down way a lot, um, because we don't have, some of us don't have genuine community. Some of us have built community over years. A lot of us use social media to build that community, and some of it appears good in the beginning and then becomes very transactional,
That's true.
right? So it's like, you remember when they used to say no new friends?
Yep.
I think there's a part of that that still needs to be alive without it being so negative. And I'm not saying that somebody can't earn a spot, because I have all types of circles now, right? I have this circle here, I have this circle there, because I have 30 years of friendship from college and stuff like that, right? But I have 20 years of friendships from being in Maryland,
Gotcha.
right? And each one of them are their own thing. And that's what's beautiful about it. I can be here, I can be here, I can be here, I can be here. They don't all need to be at the same table together.
So that's always been my friendships, right? I've always been that person where, because I'm an artist and a writer and a poet, I'm supposed to hang with all the, 5 percenters and all that, and everybody that is writing poetry. And then, growing up in the church, like even going to Norfolk State, like my freshman year, I was in the gospel choir. I did the open mic stuff, so I was doing open mics. And then I had my roommates, and that's how I built my friendship with my roommates. And here's the thing with my roommates, my original roommate is not the crew that me hanging with. I
I
had
know that.
a.
I know that.
Oh, you knew that?
I knew that.
I didn't know you knew that.
I knew that.
So Shonda, so shout out to Shonda wherever here it is. Shout out to Shonda wherever you are. So I remember me and my original roommate, Shonda. She came from Newport News. She used to work at Foot Locker. We got in touch with each other because you remember back in the day you had to learn who your roommate was before you got to
Mm,
school.
right.
And when we got to Norfolk State, we ended up having a triple suite. So we had the bunk bed and then the single bed. So we had the corner room and the towers. And so with that, that's when I forgot the other I think it was Tanga or something. We had somebody else come in, and that's how I met everybody else. Is because Tanya was friends with somebody that was
I want
in
you to
the
know that
crew.
girl's name.
I think it's Tanga.
Now,
I think.
who- I want you to know that girl's name.
Shout out to Shonda.
I want you to know that girl's name. You out here tearing that girl's name up on live internet, yo. Stop it. Listen,
It was
it's all
Tanya.
good.
It
It's
was
all
Tanya. It was
sure.
Tanya.
Sure it was.
I'm
Sure it
positive
was.
because
It's all right.
she was
It's all right. It's all
transferred.
right.
She transferred over. But that's how I got to know the crew because what happened was Shonda ended up leaving. And so, my other two roommates came in, and that's when I was put in that circle, right? But outside of that, I had my own little. I was in the gospel choir. I was in the Big Brother, Big Sister program. I was a part of the SGA. So that's why it's like, even though I'm quiet, that's how a lot of people know who I am because I was in those different spaces and participating in a lot of stuff in school. The young NAACP. So that was me in college. I just want to say that.
That's what you wanted to say. Okay. So
But no, I was getting to that where my point with that was because I've always had different friend circles. I'm used to putting certain people in this circle, putting these people in this circle, trying to sometimes put it all together. It may not work out, but I'm cool with that. I always understood that all my friends don't always have to hang out, but I can still have these friendships without messing up the friendships that I have with these other people as well. So
you know, you were mentioning like the different time periods of like getting friendships in your 20s and your 40s where you feel like 20s it's a little bit more spontaneous, it's easier, right? And then as far as your 40s, you're supposed to exhibit a little more discernment, right?
yes,
But in this day and age, I think that's a little reverse right now. Where like, and I'm around young people, you know what I'm saying? Like they real tribal, right? They don't really just let you in. You gotta like earn trust with them, like younger people now. And where niggas in their 40s, they like, where my where's my tribe at? Where's my community? Right? And
just let anybody in, and that's what I've been
and
learning.
and and, and that's and it's so crazy that it's kind of reversed. But in the sense of that community, they are looking for people that are more aligned. And I can honestly say that in your 40s, you have an involvement that happens. And so now, where you're looking for that certain alignment, it's like when you find it because you trust they're in that community of you, like that like mindedness. When you trust it like that, you throw some of that discernment back out the window, right? Because you like, if they're in this space, then they're definitely my community. Like these are definitely my people. And it's still toxic people in those communities. You know what I'm saying? So you can't throw that discernment out the window just yet. Hope you gotta hold on to a little bit of it because goddamn, like
I got a funny story. I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna
you
let
gonna
you.
let me
I'm gonna let you finish because I got a funny story. We're moving out here, and that whole yes.
But that's what I'm saying. Like it's funny, and I think one of the things we should touch on is what we don't talk about when it comes to the loss, right? And sometimes how people confuse loss with how the friendship needs to evolve if that person is worth having in your life, period. Right? But go ahead, because I
Yes,
love a Tasha
yes.
story.
So that's why I'm like, either there you go, there you go, there you go.
Pastor
That's a
Leroy.
Leroy.
She done got you out here listening to secular music, Pastor.
So I mentioned before I start this, Booney, before I start this, what I was about to say, I was saying in Cleveland, the late night R&B like show was for lovers only because everybody else in their like on the East Coast, they had Quiet Storm. So if you can piggyback on for lovers only while I tell this story. See, I told you he was gonna come up. I told you. See, look at God. Look at God.
Look at God.
So everybody knows I recently moved, right? And at this point, I don't even care if these people pop up on the live. That's how bad it was.
Oh. Tell them what you moved. Tell them where you moved from.
I moved from Virginia to Florida, right?
Okay.
So anybody that knows me, I'm quiet. I like the simple things, whatever. Da da da. So me, there's a bar that is like 5 minutes from my house, and they have a trivia night. I enjoy trivia night. I am that boring person. I enjoy trivia night. I like karaoke and trivia night, and a little bit of bingo, R&B bingo. So I just went to R&B bingo like 2 weeks ago. That's why I wanted to bring this up because I had so much fun. I did
more old ass woman than bingo in Florida.
R&B. It was
on a what night? On a Monday? On a Tuesday?
It was Saturday night. It was Saturday night.
Saturday.
It was Drake. It was R&B. So
what time it start? 4:00.
No, it's at a restaurant.
Okay.
We got there late, a little late. I think it started at 8 or 9. So
okay.
you get your everybody. It's a
during
regular
the witching hours.
Huh?
During the witching hours.
Shut up. So it was Drake. So the DJ played all the Drake songs. We had to figure it out, and everybody got prizes or whatever. I ended up getting bingo too.
You did? What you win?
Yeah. So it was at this place called Alien Taco. Some antennas. Some alien antennas.
How much was these bingo tickets?
They're free. No, it's a restaurant. It's just a regular Mexican restaurant. So they just had a DJ there playing music. Like even two people tied, they had to drink. So it's not
DJ playing Drake music at an R&B bingo in a Mexican restaurant in Florida is hilarious. And it should be the name of your next podcast episode.
Anyways, I did karaoke earlier that day. And then I did karaoke, and then we went to go play bingo.
You got a lot of free time over there. What's going on? I need your kind of free time.
I do not have free time like that because I've been stuck in this house writing and staring at computers all day long. But anyways, let me tell you the story. So I had recently got here, right? I was still new to the area. So even though I'm new to the area, I still know a little bit of where my surroundings is because Antoine, I've been coming out here for like 5 years, basically. Mm-hmm. So I'm at trivia night. It didn't start yet. So I got something to eat. I was sitting at the bar by myself. And then it was this black family that came in. So where I live at, to see a black family come in, we both looked at each other like, oh, okay. We here. so they were
It's Florida, man.
But where I'm at, no, it's people out here, but not where I'm at. So we out here, but I'm close to the St. Augustine. You gotta think about that.
You can't gentrify white neighborhoods, you know what I'm saying?
That part of me too. So so what ended up happening is I'm sitting there, I'm almost done with my food, and then the guy was like, is everybody ready for trivia night? So he was like, everybody, a group of 3 or more. So then I looked, I was like, dag, I can't do trivia. I'm by myself. So they looked over at me and it was like, do you want to be on our team? So I was like, sure, because I really wanted to, be a part of this trivia night.
very much, ma'am.
I,
I'm really good
I,
at this game.
I was. I really was. I am.
Okay.
So I moved in a little bit closer to them. So it was a mom and her 2 kids. So between age wise, I'm right in the middle. I'm like probably not 10 years older than the oldest daughter, but like between that 5 to 6, maybe 8 years older. And then with the mom, I'm like in between them, right? So I'm talking more so to the mom because I have an adult
Because you're our
child.
mom.
Yeah, I have an adult child in college, and I think the mom assumed that I was younger, but even when I said I had an adult child, she still was trying to push me towards the daughter because the daughter is an artist. We had a lot of things in common, but I'm like, she's a
She ain't
kid.
got no lived. She ain't got no lived experience. You don't want to talk to no. You don't want to sit and talk to no child for long periods of time. You know how frustrating that shit is. You know how aggravating it is to talk to these young niggas, yo. To hear their mentality, it sounds like wobble with a wobble with a wobble, wobbles and wobble.
So I'm
Just
so I'm
lost,
so happy you said that. So
just
we're all
lost.
talking, and the mom is kind of like, "Well, hey, after this, we're going to such and such place, and it's a place I like." It was what was it? Throwback Thursday. So it was a Thursday. So she was like, "We're going here for Throwback Thursday," but here was the kicker:
Oh, she ain't
we're
gonna be
taking
out too much later.
no. We're taking an Uber because my son crashed my car.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, cool. I said, well, after trivia night, just let me know when y'all head there. I'll meet y'all there. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Trivia night over. We leave. They leave. We go our separate ways. I have both numbers. I got mom's number and the daughter's number. So they both text me to let me know, hey, we're about to head over to such, blah, blah, blah. Meet us there. So I go there. And because I know the place and I frequent it enough to know some of the people there. It's not a big space, so I was cool. So I end up going there. They're there. I'm a little late. The mom is drunk by the time I get there. So she
Okay.
must have did a whole pregame before I got there. She was like done. Like so done that she knocked a glass off the table and it broke.
Oh.
So done that she kept pushing stuff like on House Party on the DJ booth, and the DJ was ready to kick.
Yo, man, if you don't go on the other side of this goddamn party, I'm gonna kick your fucking heart through your chest.
So
Looked at him like,
she kept hitting something over by the DJ, and the DJ was looking at the security guard like, "Yo, get her!" Like
I just helped you with your mix.
she was everywhere. So I was like, ain't the same crowd, but I get it. I'm a little sober, maybe whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking to the daughter. Things is cool because the daughter was like, hey, you good? I'm good. So me and the daughter's talking, but then the daughter's friends, people her age, come in. Right. So then I'm stuck with her mama.
Cause she gone. Mama got a babysitter now. Look out for your new friend. Cause she off with her girls and they over there clocking it and period and did.
That's what moved over to some dude. He had hookah. They was all in his face. And I think I left. It was probably 10:30. And I was like, I told the mom, I said, I'm about to leave. And she was like, tell my daughter I'm ready to go. And so So I'm like,
Nope. Then you gotta
I'm
go over
like,
there
now
and be
mind you, hold
auntie
on,
and break up her fun.
hold on. You see where I'm at? You see this door? This is where her
Yeah.
daughter was. So her daughter wasn't far. Her daughter, because this is a small place. Her daughter over by this door. So I kind of maneuver her over. Like, there's your daughter. You can talk to her. Gave her a hug. Enjoyed y'all. Nice meeting y'all. I gotta go. She was like, tell my daughter I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. And I, you know, gave the daughter a hug, told her I was leaving. Do you know? I think they thought that I was supposed to take them home,
Yep.
and I did,
Yep.
and
Did you
didn't.
did you average goodbye that ass? Did you
So
did
because,
you
huh?
slip slide about the dough, huh?
I sure did, sure did. Even text, I made it home. Nothing.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yo, listen. we don't we don't know how to connect anymore. Not in real time.
No, no, definitely not.
We have become some of the most socially awkward mofos. And it's so weird because that wasn't the way we grew up, right? And so it's almost like mental muscle. Like you gotta keep working at it, like a use or lose skill.
It is.
Right? Because it's so easy to just slide in somebody's DM and then maybe set up a date to meet up or whatever. But then when you get there, you don't know what the fuck to talk about. You don't have no type of discernment. Like your jokes ain't landed because y'all don't have no like understanding of how the other communicates. You ain't build nothing.
That part.
You're trying to build it in real time. And they're nice, so then you maybe decide to do it again. And you hope that something can build from it. But a lot of times shit just be fizzling out.
And I'm learning that that's okay, because that's my thing. Like, I have my cousin, I had the people that I know have the friendships through my cousin. Like I said, you separate all your people. So when I
Mhm.
want to hang out with my cousin, her friends, or even separate, I have built friendships within my cousin's friends. Like one of them, Nina, me and I bump all y'all what I'm about to say. We craft together, so I like doing crafting and stuff. Like, don't do it.
You old as fuck, yo.
I've always been no, I have always been this way,
I'm
and
messing
people
with
do
you.
not
Leave me
realize
right
it.
out. Are you good? You good? I listen.
That's why
I,
I tell people, like, people really be thinking that I be like outside. And this is
mm-mm.
the thing that I think a lot of people don't understand. And that's why I said, you know me. You know that you really ain't gonna see me outside unless it's something like
It's
big.
gotta be
Like,
important. It's gotta be important. Look.
but where I was going is I'm finding that, when I moved here, that even before I moved here, when I was in Richmond, I think that was the one thing that I learned, because one of my friends from high school, her and her husband ended up moving, and then my grandparents ended up moving when I was in Richmond. And so I had built a friendship with somebody, my friend Shanae, her and I had built a friendship, but I knew I wanted to move. So it was kind of like, dang, I just got that friend. Now I gotta go. So it was like it took me a couple of years to even get that. How long is it going to take to get something else? And even here, I have found some women that I do. That's who I went to the karaoke and art. Now they put me on to the karaoke and R&B bingo. But the thing about it is, we're not doing it just to like be born. It's like, hey, it's bar hopping, but in different atmospheres, so to say.
So
And
you're hold on real quick. Let me ask you something. You're in Florida now.
yes,
How long?
it's been a year.
Been a year. Where do you
Officially a year, just me.
where do you feel like you came from Virginia, you had
Uh,
somewhat of a time building a tribe there, right? For
yep,
the time you was there, but you did,
I did.
right? A year in Florida, right? You're building a tribe there. How do you feel that's coming as opposed to what you're seeing, what you're experiencing from people? Because I mean, you got cousins there, so that you kind of have
It
a
no, because it's still some like a lot like I like hiking and stuff. Like a lot of things that I like to do, my cousin doesn't like to do the same things. Like she'll do it if I really ask her to do it. But um
But let me ask you this then: for someone to be tribal community, do they have to have all of your same
no,
likes?
and that's that so that's where I was getting, and that's what I'm learning this time around, right?
Okay.
Because for years, even though I've always had the separate friendships, I've always felt like, well, maybe I need that, like that one that can navigate these spaces with me, but you're not going to get that. And that's what I'm
Mm.
learning. Like, I like a lot of outdoorsy stuff. I like playing sports still. So I know that all my friends is not going to be outside playing flag football or going hiking with me. I know that, right?
Mm.
So, but it's okay to still bring everybody together if I want to do brunch or cook for everybody.
You
I
gotta be
know that I
careful with
can
that still.
learn
Still.
that too. But
Maybe mixing out
because
here all the time.
look, because I can
You'll
say
find
this
that
out
on
loud.
you'll find that out on a
I
birthday
found
trip.
no, wherever Tay is on this podcast, because I know she's been maneuvering around all the platforms. We have been removed from somebody's social media page.
Oh wow.
But because I think the fact that her and I got close. So that's what I'm noticing too, is
Mhm.
that you cannot bring all your friends around. So I met Tay in a workout group because I said I like to work out, right? Tay, we've been cool. She stays closer to me. We don't hang out all the time, but when we hang out, it's more so we're always working out or we'll do brunch, together, right?
Mhm.
And then with my cousins, I know my cousin to do, stuff at kickbacks at her house, or we'll go out Sunday fun day. She'll put something together, have everybody go out. I'm fine with that. The thing is, I really don't like to be outside all like that. Cause last week I was out. I ain't going nowhere
Mhm.
this week. I'm not. I may not go out next week because I get overwhelmed. But going back to what you said, I'm learning that it's okay if you meet somebody, it seems like it's cool and it does not work out, right? Because that's what I was finding, is that I would go get things by myself. I wasn't looking for anybody. I would literally be, like I said, Thursday night, I would go sit at the bar, get a meal by myself. It was trivia night, kind of listen to some of the stuff, and people would come in, have conversations with different females. Hey, let's exchange numbers. Either it's a hit or a miss. Recently, I met a lady, Crystal, and her sister, and that's been cool because it's like I didn't have to, it just organically happened, if that makes
Mhm.
sense. It wasn't a push, it was more so of a, hey, we're going out. Do you want to go? And it became that. And that's what it's been. And it's just that the way all of our lives are, that we can relate to, hey, I'm busy, I'm working on proposals, or her sister is getting her doctorates right now. So
Mhm.
sometimes it's not the group, sometimes it's single, but it's, hey, I just want to go outside sometimes, or hey, can you come over? It's that. And I'm cool with that because it's not always about hanging out. It's still, are you good? Let me check up on you. I didn't see you this week, but just checking up on you to make sure you're okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
So those are the ones where it's not, I don't have to force it, because at first I was forcing a lot
Mm.
of stuff. I was. and it
Mhm.
was just like it wasn't working. It wasn't.
Right. So let me this. All right. The shift in friendships literally has become we've become less social bots. I'm seeing as you were talking the whole time, I'm listening to you, but I'm thinking about like some of the just kind of like big friendship groups I've had and still have. Um, how it has changed over the years. How like when I met one friend, like two of the big friendship groups I met here in Maryland, they all were all single and young when we all met.
Okay.
Now they all married and got kids. And so it's different. It has to evolve. I am the only single childless friend still running around, right? And that's okay. And it feels different from like my 30-year crew from ODU because even though we had that same evolution, it kind of feels like we did it together. We all did it together. But it's the same scenario. Everyone in my crew is married, got some kids, single man with no kids still running around, right?
Okay.
So there's evolving and there's different ways that we have to do it now as a big friend group like how we are. They're all raising their kids together, right? They're trying to make the next batch of us through their kids,
Gotcha.
right? Where some of these friendships here, there's a little community in there like friends, but like it's like they kind of spaced out a little bit. And so like you'll have some events and everybody bring their kids, and then you have some events where it's just be like, don't bring your kids, right? But these events are far and few between because you want to have times where we get together, but you can't get together because you got to make sure they bring their kids. You gotta let them bring their kids, right? So it's a funny because the evolving is so crazy, but then you see people evolve and they move further apart.
That's
And
true.
so one of the things that we have to talk about when that evolving happen is what's important. What is an important aspect of that friendship worth keeping? And I'll use myself for example. There are one-off relationships that I've had with people, and you would have thought we was two peas in a pod. Two peas in a pod. It was daylight between us, right? And in one of those situations, and I still care for her deeply. I still love her to death. And if she's listening, Tam Cease, talking to you. Okay. Um, but me and Tam was you saw us running around Hampton area from like a certain time. We was locked like this. But as we've gotten older, life has taken us in different paths. And in the beginning, that was hard to deal with. Like we had a conversation, like we sat down and it was some Godfather shit. We like across the table from each other and shit, and we just talking about like what changed, what happened, and she was building a better and bigger, stronger relationship with God, and he was pulling her away from me. At least as in my mind, I thought he was pulling away from me. But what I wasn't mature enough to understand was that day to day, that constant interaction, that always hanging out, that was going to be different because we were moving in different ways. But if it's genuine and the love is strong and the friendship is real, it can persevere that, right? And you can let someone go off and be the best version of themselves and still have love for them and still be proud for them and still support them. But the problem is the way things have shifted. If we don't have that everyday interaction, if we can't reach out and touch them whenever we want, we feel that the involvement is a negative thing, right? Now we're losing the friendship, and I think we should check ourselves on how not only does the friendship evolve, but how we need to evolve with the friendship and be more understanding. One of my other good friends, my good brother Harold Reed, all the way out there in Georgia with his five beautiful children and his wife, right? When we met in college, he was a transfer in, and me and him just kind of clicked and gravitated to each other. So much that he had me in his wedding. I was so honored because I was co-best man with like his cousin, and the rest of the groom party was like people he went to elementary school with, and I'm just this guy he met in 2003, right on some random. Not even no, I'm sorry, 2001. Sorry about that, Harold. 2001, and we built this bond, this friendship, this brotherhood, and then he graduated and he went back to Jersey. And I remember I would, we would keep in touch as much as possible, but that day-to-day interaction when we was in the same place, when we was roommates, that was gone. And I would lose out on such a dope individual if I was sitting over here in my fields talking about, nigga, you don't call me, we don't talk, I don't have, right? No, and now it's even different. You got five whole kids, you got five kids, you got three dogs now, like you got a whole life, right? So you gotta be a friend to a point where you have to learn this in your older life, but you have to be a friend to the point where you understand that any moments you get with them are precious moments,
Yep.
and the friendship should be able to survive distance, time. It's people I don't talk to every day. There's people I talk to every day, and there's people I don't talk to every day. But there's people that I don't need to talk to every day. There's some people that know they can hit my line whenever they need it, right? But there's also some people that knows that I'm gonna come in with the random, hey, what's going on? Checking in on you, what's good? Catch me up, what's popping, right? Because, and sometimes I have to send that message and be okay with sending it and not hearing anything until they're ready to respond, right? But there was a point where I couldn't handle that. I thought that somebody, once you lose that kind of that feel.
I can't hear you. I don't know what just happened.
Hit the
Okay.
mute button on my ass. It's right. It's like right here on the top. But it's like we once you feel that change, that shift, that's something that your friendship should have you be able to talk about, and you have to be okay with the choices that is going to you know come from that conversation. Because again, sometimes people move with you, some people move this way with you, some people stay, and that's okay. But in this day and age with social media, we are attached to each other, and that comes with this weird. I talk about entitlement all the time, you know that, and it comes with this weird entitlement. That entitlement leads to expectations. That expectations will not meet, lead to disappointment, and that's how friendships die on the inside too, right? Them transactional joints, boy. Once you can't do for me no more, you act like I ain't never did for you. That's crazy to me.
So I do want to piggyback on that. I got my little tissue just in case, because you're right when we say we have to understand that sometimes it's not that they dwindle down. You just, it's growth, right? You guys are growing. Um I had to learn that, and I'm still learning that. And I think that, well, not I think, I know it really hit me when I had mentioned in the beginning with one of my close friends passing away.
Hmm.
So, Terrence Edward Smith, you are definitely missed. Um, but I mentioned this friendship because this wasn't a relationship. This was a genuine like friendship. There was we nothing between us at all. Like we thought we could possibly date, and it was just like we didn't even go. It was just like, now you are literally my best friend. I met Terrence. I think I was like 12 in like sports camp, right? Um, always laugh at the story. We we met at a basketball camp, and we were in two different groups or whatever. And so the girls and the boys had to get in a pool together. And
Hmm.
so you 11, 12. So already y'all thinking, "Ooh, look at the girls in swimsuits." So what would happen is every time we would get in
That's
the
crazy.
pool, the boys would try to dunk the girls. So
They
from
like you.
from day one, From day one, I never forget. I
Okay.
seen everybody coming towards me, and I think Terrence was behind me. I just turned around, locked up on him. I didn't even know who he was. Never talked to him a day in my life. I hopped on his back, and I always say we've been friends since. So like every time we got in the pool, I would try to find Terrence. Like I didn't even know his name. I was hopping on this boy back because he was right there. And we finally got to know each other. And that was like during the time I couldn't talk to boys on the phone. Like I wasn't allowed. Like my parents were strict, like strict.
Mhm.
So then when I end up moving to Philly, you gotta think this is before our cell phones. We still got pagers,
Letters. Write them
letters,
letters.
and long distance phone calls. And when I
Write them
say
letters. You had long distance on your phone. Oh,
no,
you got
hold
money.
on, hold on, no, because Ms. Zelda, shout out to Ms. Zelda. Ms. Zelda cursed him out like, who? Why my phone bill's $200? Who are you calling in Pennsylvania? So, so he had to work to pay his mom, for the phone bill. But that's how
Crazy.
close we were because that was literally the only person that I kept in touch with from Cleveland.
Okay.
So here it is now. I go to Norfolk State. Wasn't my first choice. My aunt Janelle, shout out to Janelle. Janelle and Terrence drove from Cleveland to Norfolk to come to homecoming the first year
Word.
with me. Yep. My aunt and him, they drove from Cleveland to Norfolk to come there. And that's when we kind of decided, like, because Terrence was like, that's when we talked, right? We had a real talk about our friendship. I just really think that we should be friends. This is not like, I don't want a relationship. I'm trying to figure out life, right? So we've
Okay.
always been friends, like very good friends. My kids call him Uncle Terrence. Like we've always been friends. Like, and so the last time I saw him was right before his brother got married. They invited me to his brother's engagement party in New Jersey. And I remember going there. And so, being introduced, this is one of the now, mind you, we didn't go to the same schools. So this is not somebody like his mother literally knows me from just the girl from camp and the girl who $200
Phone bill. Nigga, you
phone
raising
bill.
my phone bill up here talking to this little hussy.
And
Who the little hussy on my phone?
and I remember when I went to the engagement party, but I mentioned this because that's when I realized that our friendship had changed. And what I meant by that is that's when I realized that this is where my friend is and this is where I'm at. And we are not here. We are no longer here. We see life totally different. He had moved down to Alabama, which was a good choice. Even when we talked about it, him staying in Cleveland, he felt like Alabama was the best choice because it wasn't a lot of violence out there. And so he had been living in Alabama for years. And even with him living in Alabama, we still talked, but then our conversation shifted, right? I'm talking about building, trying to get a business and do all this stuff. And he's like, I just like this country living, right? I get to build a house, I get to do landscaping, and I get to play my music, right? And I noticed that we started to argue more off of disagreements versus just having regular conversations, right? Because we saw life differently. Like he went down there to get the slow life of living, and I'm still up here trying to make
Grind away.
and and he didn't. That's where he's like, we didn't see things the same, right?
Mhm.
Because he was in Tuscaloosa or whatever. We just could not see life the same. And at first it was hard because it was like, dang, I can't take these phone calls. Like, this is annoying. Like, I love my friend to death, but it was like we're always just like, we'll have a good conversation, talk about everybody, what's going on in life, and then it'll just go left, right? And I was fine at first I wasn't fine with where our friendship was because I couldn't understand. I'm like, this is my friend for 30 plus years. Like, why can't you understand and support me in the moves that I'm making? And why can't we agree with things? But then I would say probably like 3 years ago, I was okay, right? I was okay where we did the little check ins, or I would post something on social media and, I'm proud of you and get those because at first it was just, back and forth. So when I heard that he had passed away, because I didn't even know, I had people hit me up and ask me what was going on because people didn't know we weren't talking as often as we weren't talking. So everybody's calling me, asking me what happened,
And that's how you found out he died?
and I had to call his mom because I was I was the connection for everybody else, if that makes sense. Everybody knew that we were so close that I would have the answer, and I didn't have the answer.
Hmm.
So that's when I had to call his mom to see what happened. And I kind of paused because it was like, he moved down to Alabama for the slow life and actually lost his life over somebody else's bullshit that had nothing to do with him. But they wanted to get to the guy, so they killed my friend in order to get somebody else's attention. So
That's dark irony, unfortunately.
yeah, but it's okay. And even in that process, when I said I was okay, like I literally was okay. I was at peace. I didn't have the shoulda woulda couldas feeling. I felt like me and my friend were good because we really were.
What was our last conversation though?
Our last conversation I feel like was about either Jameer going to college, or I think it was Jameer going to college or something like that. We had
Do you
kind
think
of
you would have
talked.
had a different conversation if you knew that was the last one?
Not really, and I say this because last conversation was Jameer. I remember he had told me he had met this girl because I don't even know if they were still together during this time. I remember he had told me he had found some girl that he had started dating, and I was telling him like, really take your time and pursue it because I know some of the things that he really wanted in life. Like he has no kids. He didn't have any kids. But I knew that was something that he wanted, especially like knowing that his brother had got married a couple of years prior to those conversations.
Right.
So I told him, like, we talked about the girlfriend. I'm happy with the conversations. It it was
How,
never about going to Alabama or see, like, we were good in the spaces that we were in. It
how
was,
long has he been gone now?
he just passed away in October. This just happened in October. It was right before homecoming too.
Oh,
So that was another reason why I was like, I wasn't trying to go to homecoming.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn. Sorry for your loss. I didn't know.
Yeah. Uh,
Um, that kind of loss is different. You know, that's the loss you can't control, and you hope that you have these moments where you hope that they knew when they left that they had a friend in you. Um, that don't get talked about enough, like losing friends that way. The
yeah.
grieving process is still very real. You grieve your friendship loss when it's just a nigga mad at you because you ain't show up for their birthday, right? But like losing friends, like what I'm saying, I lost some people during COVID. Um, that was difficult. That was real difficult. Because you didn't even get to say goodbye to them.
Yep.
Um, but then there's that type of loss again we don't talk about at all because the kind of loss we do consume ourselves with is that feeling of like the shift and the change and the evolving. as a man, the reason that men experience friendships differently in their adulthood is because it just means more. Like in when you're younger, you'll bring everybody that's was with you. They coming with you, and if they can't come with you, they get left behind, type
Yeah.
thing, right? When you get older, you want everybody to come with you, and you're more like trying to show them how to get there.
But they all can't.
They
Everybody
all
can't.
can't come still,
Everybody
right?
can't come.
And we'll hold on to our own ascension because we can't get them there. So as you get older, those ties become real easier to cut. As you get in your 40s.
Man. Oh my
Woo,
god.
that cutoff game, boy.
Woo!
Yeah, what?
I
You're not
said,
doing what?
ooh.
You said
I
what? You're
said,
not doing
yeah.
what? You're not doing what? Huh? You think what? Oh no.
Bye.
Nah, I can't do it. So did you feel lonely in Florida when you first got there?
It wasn't that I felt lonely.
Mhm.
And that's what I think. I didn't feel lonely. The thing that I have to always do,
Mhm.
because I know I'm very good with isolating myself, is learning how to get out the house.
Oh man,
Right?
listen.
And not just to go drink or anything like that. Literally just learning how to get out the house.
All right.
Because I can stay in here and my
How,
grocery store, I can walk to the grocery store. That's the bad part about it. Like, and I
what would
can
you
walk to
say?
Starbucks now.
What would you? What was your first move as an adult? Adult. What would you consider the first move as an adult?
So you gotta think. It's not even I've been moving around my whole life.
Okay. All right. So
So, but as an adult, meaning 18 years old, adult. My
no,
first
I mean, okay.
tour.
All right, like
Because you
this.
gotta think I moved to Virginia at 16.
Okay. Seven. Well, I didn't move to Virginia. I moved to a different part of Virginia at
So I
17.
moved from Pennsylvania
Okay.
to Virginia at 16.
Hmm.
And I say that that was the moment that I realized when it comes to friendships that everybody ain't going to come with you. That's why I said a lot of these things I've learned at a younger age.
All right. This is what I'm saying. The whole thing about feeling lonely in a new place. Of what I'm
It
saying.
was when I moved to Virginia.
Okay. So I moved to Maryland when I was 28 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, 28. Be 20 years. Yeah, 28. Okay. No, 27. Maybe 27. Anyway, so that's a prime time for this city, right? So it is no way that you could just be in the house. You're
Got
new in
you.
the city, you got a new job, right? And it's the year of the super clubs.
Yes, because I'm thinking about
Right? It's the year
when
that it
I was still, where was
this
I
is
at
this is
26?
2005. This is the
I was in
height.
Philly, so I was
This is the
outside. I
height
was,
of
yeah.
the super clubs, right? I'd already been spending years coming up this way.
Because I remember driving down the Dream. So yeah.
Right. I used to
Yeah.
already spent,
Yeah.
yeah, I did the DC Live, I did the
Yep.
VIP, right? I did the H2O, right? I did all of them joints. And then you had shit going on. Like we used to go from Wednesday to Sunday. You would find something on Monday, but if it's football season, it would probably be somewhere to watch the game. But you would go from there would be happy hours and bars and parties in spots. It was so many different spots here back in the day. By the time you got to the weekend, you was running on autopilot. And you was still getting up and go to work Thursday, Friday, right? So it was so easy to not be lonely because one, you was always in the streets. Two, you start running into the same people over and over and over again. A lot of friendships were built from just social interaction and being out and seeing the same people over and over again,
Over and over
having
again.
drinks
Yep.
with them and laughs
Yep.
with them and partying
Yep.
with them and shit,
Yep. Yep.
right? But a lot of them didn't survive because they were supposed to stay there in the club. And I think when you get 40 and you don't go to the club, but say you meet people in the limited social interactions that you have, or you do, you don't put them in a box. You don't put them in the friend box for a while. You need several interviews. You need, right?
That
You need
part.
you need you need progression steps. I met these cool people. That's how it starts. I met these cool people. We'll see.
But
We'll see.
but that part, because that was tripping and I met this group. But no,
We'll
I
see.
so I agree. So if we look at it like that, right? So here's the thing that I think, to give you a better perspective of my life. So why I'm not always outside. I've been outside since I was 15. All my aunts are older than me. So I've been in the clubs before I could get in the clubs, right? That's always been my life, right?
Okay.
My I've and here's the thing about how the clubs have always been, I guess, good to me, because even when I was under 21 going into the 21 or older clubs, we've always had a connection where security wouldn't let nobody talk to me. Like, it wasn't no leave her alone. I can be, you know what I'm saying? It's always been that protective thing of when I used to go outside,
Because your
with
ass
my
wasn't
aunt.
supposed to be there.
Because I wasn't
Ain't
supposed to
trying
be there.
to lose their liquor license because something happened to your ass.
But they let me
You
in. But even when I was 18, they still let me in, right? They still let me in. But it was always, all right, let Tasha in, whatever, da da da. Or if somebody tried to leave her alone, don't mess with her.
Shout
That's
out to
so
my fake ID.
I didn't need no fake ID, but that's what I'm saying. Like, when I turned 18 and me and my aunt was hanging out, shout out to going out in the flat. Shout out to my big mama, my grandmother, man. I swear, me and my aunt used to hang out. I know I'm telling too much. Sorry, Janelle. Me and my aunt used to hang out. My grandmother was like, y'all better Sunday morning, y'all behinds better be in the front of the church. My aunt would sing for the church. You better be up there singing. My grandmother did not play. If we was going out, we had to be at church on Sunday. So that's always been my life, right? If I hang out, I still gotta go to church on Sunday. And so I've lived that before my kids, right? I hung out even after my kids, or no, even before I had my son. Like, my son's dad, I will always take his car. He had the Acura or whatever. Go pick up my friends, go hang out, just hang out. So it's not like I just sit in the house all the time. I've just never really been that person to, like, always want to be in the streets. You know,
Mm,
I had access to the streets. I just don't like being out there all the time, right?
right.
Um, and it's too because just looking at people when they drink. I remember one guy always laugh and joke that my aunt's friend locked us in the bathroom together. You know how you at old school at the house you had that door. If you shut the door, you get locked into one of the rooms or whatever. And
Mhm.
my aunt's friend was so drunk, he kept talking about monks and all this other stuff. So it's like, for me, it was like, this is how I saw drinking. This is how I saw people drinking. It was like, I have my 2 drink max, and I always say that, and people laugh at me. And it's just always me. I want to make sure I'm good. If I have to drive, I don't want to have to rely on somebody to make sure I'm good. If we all drinking, I'm fine with being sober. I don't like the feeling of feeling drunk. So I've always been outside. It's just I choose to stay in.
Mhm.
And that's always been my preference. Even when I did have my fake ID, I remember being in Richmond when I had my fake ID from Philly. I was at the clubs. It's just never been me. Even at Norfolk State, when all my friends, all my friends was at the parties, probably went to 2 out of the group.
Listen. Okay. I'm not outside like that no more. I'll be honest with you. Like
But
that.
I just never
Somebody just
wanted
called
to
me.
be.
Somebody just called me a homebody ass nigga today. Somebody just literally called me a homebody ass nigga today, and that's cool because I have to preserve this energy that I have, right? But that's also because I went so hard. I went hard. I went hard from fucking 17.
But I didn't go hard, and I never wanted to. That's
From 17. Well, I mean, we're different, and I'm okay with that.
yeah.
You know, but like just being a social butterfly. Like I spent so much time pretending to be an extrovert or just enjoying the benefits of being an extrovert. Like I couldn't even really be. I would have to take moments to be my little introvert self. I had to recharge the battery and shit, right? But then back in the day, my boys thought I was just having mood swings and shit. And I'm like, no, niggas, I can't be on for y'all all the time, right? I need moments to recharge the battery. They didn't think so. They didn't know so, and I didn't know how to I didn't really know how to tell it to them. You know what I'm saying? But it was so like I gave so much to the game. I gave so much to the game. Like now in the house, oh, house is peaceful, right? I had that one question I asked. The other question I asked a couple of friends of mine was, if you could have tonight any way you want, would you want loud fun or quiet peace? What would
Quiet.
you
My bad.
choose?
I'm the
Quiet,
quiet.
quiet peace, right? I can honestly say loud fun because I have so much quiet peace in this bitch all the time.
I
All the
I
time,
understand that. I understand that.
right? I can get quiet peace whenever I want because I prioritize it. So every now and then I do want some loud fun, but that fun can't be too loud. It can't be too loud, right? And fun is very subjective these days when you get older. Right? Because I don't want to be nowhere with a bunch of millennials snapping their food, boomeranging their drinks, and blowing hookah all in my face. I don't want to do none of that shit.
Well, you
I'll be
know,
honest with you.
we already just like I don't mind that part.
uh,
I don't mind that part. I was just talking about I need to find a small Middle Eastern spot to do hookah at because I always feel like those the best
I'm gonna
spots.
miss your lungs when they gone.
You
Okay,
don't inhale.
right? Talk like this. Hi, my name is.
I
My
don't
name
even
is
do
Natasha
hookah like
Lemonade, the
that.
creator. I have a
Shut,
hole in
shut
my
up.
throat because I love that shisha too much.
I don't even do it that much. I don't even do it that much. But no, like and and
Get you a
and
little
that
choker so you can hide the hole.
stop it. But back to like, the friendships and being outside. But that's the thing I think a lot of people don't it's not that they don't understand. I think more so about me. Like I don't mind being outside, but I really don't like being outside all the time. Like I
Okay.
really don't. Unless it is like I'm on some doing some hiking or like going to a concert. Like
Mhm.
those are music. Like music, that's why I said I would do karaoke all day. I can't sing worth nothing. But I will be on that karaoke mic like I'm a superstar over here.
All right. I'm gonna do a lightning round. Right. I'm gonna give you two options, and you're gonna give me your abbreviated ideas on those. Okay.
Okay.
This
I
is
wasn't
when it
ready for
comes
this. This is
to
not in
and
my
when it
notes.
comes. It is in your notes. I'm just doing it a little different. Trust
Oh,
me.
okay.
Now, this is when dealing with friendships and how you feel now as opposed to how you may have felt back in the day. This is you now. Okay.
Okay.
You're in
Present.
this
Present
multiverse
moment.
here, right?
Okay.
Earth one. Okay. All right. Um Initiated plans or waiting to hear from friends.
I like plans.
Okay, but are you making them or are you waiting to hear from your friends?
It depends. I'll make them.
You'll make them?
I will make them. Yeah, I'll
You
make
get everybody on board?
them.
A
Hopefully,
lot of
yeah.
a lot of friendships sit at this stall spot because somebody will say to them, "Oh, well, if you're gonna do something, let me know," and then
No,
that's
I like
it.
plans. I like plans.
No, not
I'm a
even that,
planner,
but I'm just saying,
but
like
I'll put them
they'll
together
sit,
if I have to.
they'll sit there and they'll wait for your plans. That's it. They don't ever have their own plans. I hear that as a complaint. You don't have your own plans. If I plan everything, that's the only time we hang out.
I would say that's different with my friendship groups, even multi in all of them. it's like with my cousin will put something together. Sometimes she'll ask me to look for stuff because everybody always, I think people think because I'm the vegetarian, it's hard.
Mhm.
I gotta find somewhere for me to eat. And I'll be like, I can go wherever we go, I can go there. So my cousin is always down, hey, this is what we're doing, this is what time, me, this is where we'll be. Even with the new group, it
Mhm.
is, hey, we're going here. Did you want to meet us? Like, we already got reservations. Because
Right.
that's the thing with a lot of things now, you got to have reservations. Even in Virginia,
Not everything.
not everything, but even in Virginia, I think we kind of don't want to do the waiting game. Me and my
Right.
friend Shanae will, we'll do what's the thing in Richmond? The Shrimp and Co. or the Boathouse. You
Right.
know, well, hey, meet me at the Boathouse. I made reservations after work, whatever, da da da. So
Mhm.
it's always been a mix. I usually don't have to do the plans. Like I'm like the last person to really come up with the plans because everybody else usually has the plans. But I don't mind
Mhm.
doing them either. So yeah, planned
Okay.
and not waiting.
One of the easiest things in my group of friends was that we understood everybody had a role. You don't step outside your role unless the person that does that role
Yep.
brings you in, right? And then when you've been that one person, it's hard to be something else in another friendship, right? Because my I used to love it. My boys used to always I used to tell them niggas we used to be trying to talk about the house parties we used to throw and stuff, right? And I'd be like, listen, I'm a party goer, not a party organizer. Like, so don't ask me, right? Because my role is social interaction. I'm supposed to be the person that's out here trying to get people to come. I'm the one that's entertaining them once they get here. Don't ask me to put together it neither. Don't ask me to curate it too. Goddamn, that's not my role. So it's so weird. Like I struggle in friendship sometimes because now I have to. If I don't plan something, somebody don't think we're friends. And I'm not a big planner. I never been a big planner. Never had to be a big planner. Right? I am shot clock. I am game time. I take all the options and I put them on a pegboard and I blindfold throw darts at them. Everything is based on my mood. If I want to get up off the couch, do I want to leave this dog for how long? What time is it? Who all gonna be there? You know how much
That
real who
part,
all
man.
gonna right? Is
When
the
I say
parking easy? Is there food there? Right? Like is and you don't want to hear all that shit. You just want my energy to be like, yeah, I'm going. No, no, no. I got some questions first.
again, if it's not planned and it's last minute, I'm gonna struggle to really give you a definite yes because that's what I'm thinking. Who's there? What time? Do I really have to get up and get my life
But
together?
that's how I'm deciding. That's how I'm doing my little Venn diagram of where am I gonna go. And then a lot of times I end up not going nowhere at all. But okay, that's it. Okay. All right. Instant friends or letting in people slowly?
Letting in people slowly.
Slow burn.
Yes,
Yo,
slow.
niggas is so scared to build genuine friendships now. They think everything is so automatic, yo.
I tried the let you in quick and nose die down so quickly. That's why I feel like throwing shade, we got blocked
But
because
listen,
we let people in instantly and some of the truth wasn't truthing.
but listen. Again, one of the main culprits I will always blame. I will blame Facebook friend groups.
That's what we were in. We were in
Facebook friend groups,
a Facebook
boy, they
group.
don't.
It
That
was
is
a Facebook
that's
group.
the most transactional friendships
It
built
was a
in the
workout group.
world, right? And it's so funny because it's so much interaction, questions of the day and thirst traps and whoops, and then people arguing back and forth. What's up, family? How y'all
That's
doing
why I say
today?
in workout groups and stuff like that. Because I have. It's so funny you say that because I have removed myself from the social groups, right? Unless it's
Mm.
like hiking or hair, because even though those conversations can come into those
Mhm.
groups, right? I've learned that I had to separate myself from those social groups.
Mhm.
Because matter of fact, when I say in DMV, DMV does and all that on Facebook.
Oh, let
I
me tell you
I
something. Let me tell
so
you something.
before it was
Let me
DMV
tell you something.
does, remember it was the other
Listen to
one
me.
because
If
the
you
guy
talking,
moved.
I tell people all the time, especially the ones that move in this area and they get hooked on that site. I'll be like, "Yo, be careful. That is a cesspool.
So
A
hold on.
cesspool."
I went out with them. Okay. So before the lady
There's so
did
much trauma in that
does,
group.
right? So before it was does, it was I forgot the original name, right?
DMV social.
Yeah, DMV social. Because the dude, I forgot the dude, he ended up moving. And when
DMV
he
social,
moved,
yo.
so I used to hang out and do some of the stuff with DMV social. I did. I did. I was
That was at its high toxicity. Like, what year was this?
that's what so when did MGM open up?
Oh, you recent. Well, no. MG
It was
been.
still it was like 2017, 2018, I think. Because it was still I don't know if it cost a park there, but I remember it was like people were going to MGM, but they weren't really going to
Mhm.
MGM. So
Mhm.
they would do a lot of like get-togethers at MGM and some of the restaurants.
Mhm.
And I remember being active in a group.
Mhm.
We gotta remember who on my Facebooks, but oh well. Uh, I I remember being active in a group, and I remember the first guy who did it because I remember he had an outing. And I was like, I don't know if I wanted to go because I'm real introverted, and I am. I just hate the whole just hi, my name is Natasha, or hey, I'm Tasha. Nice to meet you. What do you? I hate that. Like I hate it. I do. So he was like, just come. A lot of people is new. So I
Right.
remember going, and I'm gonna mention some names because these people is not a bad thing. So I remember I noticed that it was a lot of people that were younger than me. So it
Mm.
was a guy named James that was short, dark skinned dude that was a part of
Okay.
the group. He originally went over to the Does. He was in social, and I remember they moved us over to Does because I remember James had sent a request for everybody in social to move over to Does. And it was another guy who used to work at the White House that was there because I remember the guy used to always offer the tickets for the White House or whatever. So,
Mhm.
anyways, I mentioned this because I remember I did the one outing, and then I remember James had a open mic night down DC. It wasn't that far from Ben's Chili Bowl, so wherever
Used
area
to.
that is, yeah. So I was over there. It was cool. It was real nice. I performed at everything. I did the open mic night. Even with that, it was still like I was by myself, and that's why I hated hanging out with them because it's like, how am I here, but I still feel like I'm by myself?
Mm.
Right. So I was in social when they moved me over to Does. I did the open mic night. Everybody still want to act real funky and not really say anything to each other. So it was kind of like I drove all the way out here just to sit by
Cliquish.
myself.
You're very cliquish in them
I'm
groups.
I'm out. I'm out.
All right.
And that was the last thing I did with them. Like
Okay.
that was the last thing.
Chemistry. Can you force it?
It was kind of
Can you
like
force chemistry?
you can't. You can't. You really can't. You can't. You cannot.
How much
And
time
that's
have
what
you
I'm learning.
wasted trying to force chemistry?
Some years.
Can't get them back.
Can't.
All right.
Can't.
Red flags. What's your red flags?
When it comes to friendships,
Yeah.
those are kind of hard
Mm.
because I'm not a texter. So I guess I would be a red flag in some I got like 200 and some text messages that's not touched.
I'm the flag. It's me. Okay. Um.
So I can't really I can't really say because I be so anti I can't catch a red flag. red flags sometimes because I don't really push sometimes. And that's my bad habit. I will say
What?
my red flag is um I I don't try sometimes.
Okay. Do you think that do you think that you have these red flags because you're more guarded now?
I've always been guarded. So that's where my issue is.
So what do you value most in your friendships today?
I would say
What are green flags? Because we
green
can't do the red
green
flags. What are
green
green
flag.
flags?
Okay. So you mentioned that it's not always about keeping in touch, right? And that's my thing. My green flags are the people when because I don't really tell people when I'm not okay. And you know that. I will not tell you that I'm not okay. Like that's why I said I'm a whole red flag. I feel like my green flags are
Hey, real
connect.
quick.
Yes.
Do you not tell me the real reason you're not okay because you don't think I can handle it, or because what? Why you don't do it when I ask?
Because I don't want people to know when I'm like
Can't be
not good.
vulnerable. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's
We work on that.
I told you
We'll work on that.
I'm the red flag.
You are the I am me. It's toxic over here, guys. Woo.
Maybe. I feel like the friendships that I value the most, I'll say like I can name people like my friend Tiffany. We
Okay.
don't talk for months, but when we talk, I just feel comfortable. It's not about reminiscing on back in the day. It's even when I can't do anything. And I think that's what I love about our friendship is I can't make all the events. I will try, and Tiffany doesn't hold anything against me,
Mhm.
right? Those are the things that I genuinely like about our friendship. With my friend Shanae, that's a newer friendship. And I've learned that Shanae is like me, as far as acts of service. Shanae, I don't even have to tell Shanae I'm not good. Shanae just really genuinely is like, will ask me, my take on things, how I feel about certain situations, and not always like, are you okay, friend? She can tell in conversations I'm not okay and will offer without me asking.
Mm.
And those are the things that I genuinely like because I am very antisocial and people
Mm.
do not understand that. I'm very antisocial
Okay.
and I want to be around people, but I am so used to being alone. It is very hard for me to socialize. And it's always been that way, like always. So I appreciate the people who understand that if you don't hear from me, I'm not ignoring you. They don't take it personal. Like you said, they're not taking it to heart. Is they know me. Like my one friend Jennifer, I may not talk to her for years. And that literally is it, but she knows how I am. Nobody takes offense to me being distant. But I do appreciate when people reach out as well because I tend to feel like sometimes I'm always the one reaching out to people and nobody's reaching out to me.
So you do allow people to close the distance, but you don't necessarily always close the distance yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um.
And I'm a talker, not a texter, people, just to let you know. So don't be offended because I
All
got
right.
200 some text messages that are
Real,
unread.
real quick. The expectations of someone being the type of friend you are, good or bad.
Bad because everybody can't be me.
Right.
And I
When
don't
did you
expect
learn?
people
When
to
did you learn that? How
be
many
me.
friendships did you sacrifice because you didn't know that?
Ooh. I learned that on Valentine's Day of 2000 of 2015, I think it was. That and I'll never forget the conversation.
Okay.
That's when I learned it. One associate because I have to remember I have associates and I have friends. Everybody is not a friend. Everybody is not a friend. An associate of mine is a musician. It was out in Richmond. I think it was Sister Act that they were playing for. And it wasn't a date. It was kind of like, hey, do you want to come to Sister Act? And I think I couldn't get a ticket. And so we
Mhm.
were talking, and I remember I was saying, I was talking about communication, and I didn't understand how people are so easily to go ghost, and why aren't people communicating the way fair, and life isn't fair. That that person basically was like, we can't expect people to be like us. And that's our issue. We want people to respond the way we respond, and we
Mhm.
want them to do the things that we do. And just because it's not the way we do it doesn't mean that it's not right or wrong. And that's when I literally opened my eyes to understand that people don't respond, and people don't do the same things that I do. And that's what I'm learning even in these friendships. But I'm also learning with that. So I'll put that this out here. Even though people don't do the things how we want them to do, sometimes I learned that sometimes I have to step back and stop doing the things that I do
Mhm.
because people expect it.
Expectations will arise.
In our lives, but oh, sorry.
Hey, listen, man. I told you, entitlement is from expectations, yo,
Yep.
and it is a friendship killer, right? Like I told you, them people that go ape shit over their birthdays. Why you not friends no more? They ain't hit me up on my birthday.
You
Have
know
they
I
ever?
don't post my birthday on social media on
I was
purpose.
like, have they ever missed a birthday? No. So the one time they do miss a birthday, you done. Mm.
Well, I won't talk about that.
All right. So okay, now you're in your 40s, right?
Yes.
Welcome.
I mean, I'll be 43 this year. So I mean, I've been here for a little bit.
You just talk to me when you get on the other side, okay? Other side. Come on over to the other side. All right. Um, knowing what you've been through in your friendship journeys and where you are now, what is the community that you desire to build ultimately? What does that look like?
My community would be, I wouldn't even say a sense of support, right? Just to wind down and enjoy, and not just be so caught up on what's out here, and what everybody sees, and the expectations of social media, or trying to be what everybody else is. Just be the individuals, and just enjoying ourselves of who we are, and just supporting each other in our journeys, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's wrap it up. Let's get our final
Uh,
thoughts.
oh, let me find out. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
I picked it up
Yeah.
a little bit. I
You
said
know what I'm saying here. I'm over here, you know what I'm saying, the whole time. I'm a guy that, you know what I mean?
I didn't
I'm
even
locked in.
didn't even open them up.
I locked in. I'm good over here. I told you, listen.
I like this episode. What about your friends? Look at my friend.
I'm locked in over here. All
Because
right.
I really
So
wasn't ready for taking control of this episode at all.
it's all good.
Man,
I think this is something we can talk about. All right. So all right. Final thoughts. You got what's yours? You want me to go first or you good?
no, I'll go first. I say always appreciate the people that's around you. Friendships are just like relationships. They're either here for a reason or a season.
Mm,
Don't take things personal, and just go with the flow and don't set too many expectations for people. See people for who they are and decide to place them in your life where they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. Where's the camera? Right here. Camera one. Okay. So I'm gonna say this. If you are in my life at this big age, in any capacity, thank you. You've probably seen me at my worst. You've probably seen me at my best. You've probably seen me at what the fuck. And if I still have access to you in any manner, your presence in my life is truly a blessing. Trust me. Will we always agree? No, probably not. Will there be times where we'll have miscommunication, bad communications? Yes, we will. But know that if I fuck with you, I fuck with you. Good, bad, or indifferent. I will love on you. I will hold you accountable. I will provide a safe space for you to be whoever you are. And I only ask that you give that back. I don't expect much. I don't expect anything. Anything I get from my friendships, anything that's poured into me is a pure and blessed gift. But I do expect you to just be who you are, because my discernment is going to determine how much you interrupt that peace, and it's peace over everything these days. But if you've made it with me this far, the best is yet to come. I promise you. I love you and thank you. You know who you are.
That was nice. Ditto what Antoine said.
Boom. All right. Well, it's been a Wednesday. I know y'all missed us. Y'all gotta talk to Tasha. It don't be me. I'm telling you right now.
Y'all, I'm
Okay.
tired. Y'all don't understand. I'm
It
tired.
be Tasha, don't be me.
We are trying to make adjustments so we can make this happen more often than I have been.
I'll be here on Wednesday. I'm gonna start hijacking this stream.
That part, because I was about to say, look, Antoine may have to take over a couple of
I'm about to
times
hijack this stream,
because he got access to all my pages. So. I've been right.
I want to wind down with Antoine on Wednesday. Maybe I can ghost. You want to talk to me real quick?
He got to log in.
Let's see how that works. I'm gonna try one of these Wednesdays. People like, I don't think I can. I'll be like, you know what? Let me see. I'm always nervous to be up here by myself, to be honest with you. But we'll see. All right.
Do a takeover one day. Where can we find you?
Where can they find me, boy? They can find me on IG at My Shit Is Pure Comedy. That comedian named Ant. How y'all doing?
And you can find me at Natasha Renee _ the creator. Shout out to Instagram because we survived a whole Instagram episode. We feel everything now. I finally figured it out. I finally
figured it out, right? And where can they see this live broadcasted? Where can they see this at?
So make sure you guys, please, because audio is not the way to go anymore. Y'all stop. Y'all not analog no more. We are in analog. I'm an analog girl in the digital world, but please go to the YouTube in a moment. Like,
I don't know.
Get somewhere.
I don't know.
Make sure
I don't know if they heard you because you was frozen on my side.
It did say I lost connection. I was saying make sure you follow us. Yeah, make sure you following us and subscribe on our YouTube channel. In a moment with Natasha Renee. Antoine and I are going to have regular episodes other than the Wind Down Wednesdays. So Wind Down Wednesdays are live episodes, but we are going to put together some regular episodes because I do have actually episodes written out for us to do. So please make sure you are on there to see solo episodes, see Antoine take over and all that good stuff. Because I know Antoine, it is probably not going to be a Wednesday, and Antoine is going to pop up on somebody going to be like, Tasha, you like, I'm going to look on Facebook and see on Natasha Renee. So please make sure you guys are following our YouTube channel. And when you come on the lives, make sure you are on YouTube because that is what matters. YouTube, even though you guys are on Facebook, Instagrams, the TikToks of the world, YouTube is what matters. So click that subscribe button. Make sure you are following us. And as always, there's always more to come.
Peace.
I don't know how to stop. Hold on. Give me a second. I had 2 screens up. Now I gotta wait. Sorry, we still on here. There we go. There's